Blog Talk Radio.
Taking a ride on this subway line. There's lonely voices echo through borrowed time. I pick up the pieces and look the other way. Oh man, I love to get 'em through the day. Borrowed time, borrowed time. Everybody wants some, everybody needs some, everybody needs some borrowed time. To change the time is only seconds away. I pull out my car and it's time to play. Screaming down the road, wind in my hair. I put the pedal to the metal for just one last scare. Borrowed time, yeah, borrowed time. Everybody wants some, everybody needs some, everybody needs some borrowed time. Places to go, people to see, bittersweet that must be. Bridging the gap between death and life. She hovers above me, but I ain't she whispers, I love you, baby. I'm borrowed time. Borrowed time, borrowed time. Everybody wants some, everybody needs some. Borrowed time, borrowed time. Everybody wants some, everybody wants some. Everybody needs some. Everybody needs some borrowed time. Everybody wants some borrowed time. Everybody needs some borrowed time. Borrow me some borrowed time.
What a great song. I need some time right now, that's for sure. Hey, welcome to Red Velvet Media Blog Talk Radio. Today is a really special day because I have Richard Grieco on, who is not only an accomplished actor and has basically done quite a few movies. He's now involved mainly in his art and music and more, and we're going to listen to a little bit more of what he's currently working on. That track, by the way, was Richard, and that's on his Waiting for the Sky, his latest I can't talk today, music project. It's available on iTunes, and he'll give everybody the links and everything. And let me bring Richard on real quick. Hey, Richard, how are you?
Good. How you doing today?
I'm great. I'm so glad you were here to be able to join us today.
Me too.
That was such a great song.
Yeah, we had fun writing that song. We actually wrote it in the back of my my deck at my house, and and wrote it just acoustically, and it was all just in the preface of Borrowed Time and how the metaphor of it and how we can all use a little more time, and then as time goes by, we kind of forget about that time that we had and stuff like that. So that song was a fun song.
No, it's a great song. Everyone knows you as being Richard Grieco, the actor, and you are also an accomplished artist. By the way, guys, Richard, what's your website so everyone can go and check it all out, and also your art that they can look at?
I'm not sure what the website's as far as the RG web / whatever that is. I don't know if you have it, but it's I'm not sure what it is, the website.
I'll find it.
You find it, because seeing it the other day, I know what it is. I mean, to be honest, a lot of the paintings that I've sold, because I wanted to keep things really intimate with buyers all over the world. And then when my work took off like 2.5 years ago, because I just made it public 2.5 years ago, and I started doing it on Facebook in the reference that people that would like my work and stuff like that, because I never did it for anything else other than people, and think of it goes back 25 years ago when I first started painting. And then, so 2.5 years ago, I had all these paintings all over the house and my studio and stuff like that, and I'm going, well, honestly, who are you really painting for? You know what I mean? And so many people were interested in a lot of my stuff, and finally I put them up on Facebook, and then I started selling from there, because it seemed like an interesting medium where a lot of people, they always want me to do art galleries and shows and stuff like that, and I've kind of turned that down at this point, because I'll have conversations with people that want to buy a piece of my work, because when you paint from like a subtext of the subconscious, it's basically an unbridled emotion. There's nothing literal in it. So when they look at a piece, they'll actually think, and you don't know. I mean, in a perspective of that stream of consciousness from one person to another, you don't know if that piece wasn't painted purposely for them. So to have conversations with them and stuff like that, then I kind of turn into kind of like a shrink too, honestly. I do in a lot of ways, but it's fun, and it makes it more intimate, and once it starts going to galleries, showings, and stuff like that, and openings, I think I've always been afraid it would turn more into a business, which to me it's not, and to me it's about perpetuating just a reality and a subconscious that's on canvas, and just a pure emotion that I think a lot of people have forgot about today in art, and because there's so much media out there as far as like, graphic media and stuff like that, where it's all literal. And if you put it in the context of just pure emotion, I think that's where pieces of art become special.
Yeah, you've been working on quite a few pieces. You just recently finished a piece that there's a little story behind. You want to tell that?
Redeployed in Heaven?
Yeah. Yeah,
that was about 12 weeks ago. I got someone inboxed me, and she said her son died in Afghanistan. She got, and the scariest thing in the world is, I wouldn't know, I guess for a mom who has a son overseas at war, fighting for our freedom and stuff, is to get that knock on the door from the military police, knowing exactly what the knock is and what they're there for.
Yeah.
And so 4 days later, she inboxed me, and would I do a mural of her son? And so I ended up calling her and talking to her and stuff like that. And I kind of said, instead of me doing something in the context of a literal piece of just his face and this and army and stuff like that, why don't I do something where I can take some of his clothes, some of her clothes, his mom's, and something that he gave her, and something that was important to both of you, put it underneath the paint and memorialize it that way, and kind of in a way that then it becomes a joining forever, and it's underneath the paint, and then I'll paint on top of it and stuff like that. Then it becomes undulated. It almost looks like terrain, which is really weird. It almost looks like Afghanistan.
Yeah, there's a lot of texture in your painting, which I noticed.
So that in that reference, you get a piece that kind of immortalizes his whole life and your life with him, and and that's how a lot of my art has been, as far as just doing things differently and kind of pushing the level and pushing the edge of paint and what you can do with paint. So, but it was beautiful, and she saw it, and she broke down in tears, and she couldn't pick it up for a couple of weeks because and she finally picked it up last week, and she showed me a picture of it the other day in her house, and she's just and plus it was weird living with that, living with his clothes, and the dreams I had and stuff like that, and then going down at 3 a.m. and doing more on the piece, and so it was an emotional, draining process that piece was.
And as you and I know, I mean, with talking with you previous to this, you put a lot of yourself into your own paintings. There's a lot of meaning, a lot of deep meaning into everything.
Well, honestly, it's my life, and and I don't know what I would do if I didn't paint. And I don't. It's not like I go down and I say, today I'm going to do a painting. It's something that I have to do, just in the reference of something comes over me, or something, or some kind of emotion, or some kind of dream, or I'll see colors in my head or whatever. But I'll never go down when I stretch the canvas and put it out back and paint, and I'll never pick a color. I'll let the colors pick themselves, and I'll go out there and pick cans of paint, almost like someone's doing it for me. And I try never to touch the canvas, because I paint with dried sticks, dried brushes, and stuff like that. So I never try to kind of like infiltrate what's going on with the paint. And as the paint dries, it's still growing. So what I do is, it's an emotional journey what I go through when I paint. For example, even this one I did, which sounds very literal as far as the title, Christmas Angel. I did it in the dark.
And I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah, and I did it for 4 or 5, 6 days, and I did it in the dark where I could see colors but not see them. And the colors that came out were just perfect in the sensibility of what I wanted to do, but the reality was I didn't know what cans I was grabbing until I started painting on the canvas. And so you wonder, and like I remember the other night, I was doing the other show, and I said, subsequently, it's not a parallel to perpetuate the universe, just to ease the indifference of the constant, distant fortitude of an easement of emotion that continuously flows through one's soul and onto the canvas, creating a life of its own, never to be duplicated, only to be itself. So
that's very true. Someone just typed in the chat room that the other world speaks through you sometimes. Yeah, and you have and what I do, and you just let that kind of go through your body and express it on canvas, and basically look at everything. The body work for the past 25 years, or in the past 2.5 years, is almost like a journal of what's going on in the world and stuff like that. And I've kind of looked at it that way sometimes, and kind of went, wow, it's pretty wild. I mean, it's an unbridled emotion on canvas, yet it's almost literature, So. No, absolutely. I mean, I have to ask you, how did you start knowing and creating? Because I mean, how do you balance? I mean, everything that you're doing in your life, with acting, and then I know you're directing and filming and stuff like that, and also a writer. How do you balance all that with creating this beautiful art that you're doing?
I don't sleep much. No,
okay.
I mean, I think it's all one encompassing thing in one way. The painting, to me, though, is the one art form that no one can interrupt or screw with. Like if you do it, for example, if